So idolatry, right? Yeah, there's still images today, but God says that there's nothing below on earth or heaven above that we should bow down to or create, because God is spirit, and there's nothing that you can compare him to in his creation. But the Bible says that they worship the creature rather than the creator. If I was born in China, I would have been brought up, yeah, we're different.
You'd be a Buddhist.
But that don't mean I have to stay a Buddhist. Because I was brought up with my dad's religion. You know what my dad's religion were?
I have no idea.
Get drunk, enjoy life, don't get caught. It's still a religion. It still gave me a belief.
I wouldn't call it a religion.
Still,
I don't think it's an accepted religion. I don't think...
worshipping, you're still going to worship and serve something. Today people go into these big arenas and the gods have been shut down now. They can't go and worship now because the stadiums are shut. You're going to serve something. Money. Look at money now, people. Jesus said you cannot serve God and mammon. Right? And yeah, the churches, and the churches, some of these churches, because all they care about is money. Absolutely. The Roman Catholic Church, the Bible calls it the mother of all harlots. It's not a true church. Look at it.
What about the Mormon church?
Mormon, yeah, absolutely. It's a false church. Absolutely is.
It's probably about as false as you can possibly get,
actually. It is. So you recognise it's true and false. You recognise it's...
Well, of course.
Of course. So you have to examine. You have to search. And that's why Jesus said, if you search, if you seek, you'll find. If you knock, the door will be open.
I mean, these are all very good principles. But the Bible really ought to... It starts with in the beginning. You know, the first phrase of the Bible ought to be, once upon a time.
No, in the beginning.
Was there a beginning? Once upon a time.
Was there a beginning?
I assume there was a beginning.
There has to be. You're driven to the fact.
No one knows.
So you've got two choices. It's either eternal matter or an eternal God. And an eternal God, yes, you go bump, bump, bump. But Dickie Dawkins, all he's doing, he keeps shifting goalposts. Because he said, now, we could have been seeded by aliens. But where did them aliens come from? We're just pushing goalposts. That's
one man's opinion. But the point is again, evidence. Look at the evidence around you. You know,
designer.
There is not a single scientist, credible scientist on this planet, a planet of 6.5 billion people, that says that the Earth is 6,000 years old.
You know the man that created the MRI scanner? He's a Bible-believing Christian that believes in a 6,000-year-old Earth. And I don't think he's a fool. He's a lot brighter than me.
It was good with electronics. I can't say that...
There's plenty of people in the scientific world that
at this moment in time, I have to take your word for that.
We'll search it out.
But, so lots of people have been religious. A lot of scientists were religious 300, 400, 500, 600 years ago, simply because if you weren't religious, you got stuck in the river, you got hung, you got slaughtered.
By the religious.
By the religious.
Or crucified Jesus.
Well, exactly, or the religious people.
The religious people.
What happened to Joan of Arc?
And they stirred up the normal people against didn't they?
Well, the point is that just because...
And why did they crucify? Why did the Jewish leaders reject Christ?
I mean, quite clearly, being clever doesn't exclude you from buying into the fables of the Bible.
Because they're not fables, they've got evidence and proof.
There is no evidence.
Of course there
is. What evidence is there? Where is the evidence that the Earth is 6,000...
They said that King David never existed, that he were a fable.
Where is the evidence that the Earth is 6,000 years old?
So everything...
Where is the evidence?
The Bible teaches, right? The places, the peoples it speaks of are there.
What percentage of scientists do you think believe that the Earth is 6,000 years old? What percentage of scientists? Geological scientists? If you had to take a guess,
I don't know. Do
you think it's 50%? Do you think it's 90%? Do you think it's 1%?
I can't.
If you had to take a guess,
I can't tell you.
Do you know what I'd say? It's less than 0.1%. Somewhere out there's some scientist who's batshit crazy who thinks the Earth's 6,000 years old. But all the others, the 99.9%, accept that the Earth is hundreds of millions of years old, billions of years old.
But they can't prove it.
There's loads of evidence. They can prove it.
Well, it started off with Darwin. It's got older and older and older because you need time. Evolution needs time.
Because when was Darwin? Darwin was nearly 200 years ago.
Darwin made a war on
Science has moved on since Darwin did it. Sure, Darwin laid the foundation But Darwin wasn't entirely correct. He didn't know everything. He didn't, and the people that made discoveries last year didn't know the things that have been discovered this year. Science moves forward. That's the way it is. The Bible doesn't move anywhere. The Bible says 6,000 years old, and a guy fed 5,000 people with a couple of fish, and nobody wrote anything about it. The Romans.
Well, how do you know about it then?
Because it's in the Bible. It's
Well,
in the
somebody wrote
storybook.
about it then, didn't they? Eyewitness account.
Hundreds of years later.
No.
It was not an eyewitness. No one's ever claimed that anybody was an eyewitness, made an eyewitness account of Jesus.
So how did they?
Paul's letters to the Romans, 200 years after Jesus. That's the first
What about
mention
the
of
Gospel
Jesus.
of Matthew, Mark, Luke,
They were
John,
all,
the
they
Book of
were all
Acts?
much later.
We're talking about the apostles
So yeah,
who travelled
yeah.
with the apostles.
They made the same stories.
Oh.
Well, where do you take the Book of Mormon?
Do you know what John
Do you-
Wesley?
do you know-
what
do you
John
know-
Wesley said? He
Do
said
you know who
it's
discovered
obvious that-
America?
John Wesley said it's obvious that men would never invent the Bible,
Right.
because the Bible, right, tells us that we're wicked, that we've blown it, right?
Have you ever looked into Scientology?
When you look at religion, when you look at religions of this world, they're all telling you that there's something good in us, that we can do it ourselves, that we can work our way to God. Christianity says no, the cross says no, you can't. It's Jesus Christ said, I am the way, the truth and the life, and no man come to the Father except by me. The Bible is the anvil that's worn out many an hammer. It's the most attacked book in history.
Why?
Why? Because it reads you like a book, it reads me like a book, it
doesn't.
shows us exactly what we are, because it's the maker's book.
It's full of bunk,
The
and that's why it
designer
keeps
knows
getting
everything
attacked.
about you. It's full of wisdom.
Is-
It knows. I'm telling you, there's no book like it.
how much have the Encyclopedia Britannica been attacked?
I don't know.
Not at all. Why? Because it's all scientific fact.
Because it doesn't challenge man's sin. It don't get to the heart of what man's problem is, and it's sin, Andrew. It's a word called sin, and the wages of sin is death.
Your passion is brilliant, and I love it. It is. Honestly, I respect it.
Oh, I care about your soul.
Well, don't.
I do.
No, well, you shouldn't.
Why think so?
Because I'm a good person to other people. I am a good person.
Well, you're not
and
going to
I
be
am a good
judged
person.
by.
Well,
You're going to be judged by
if-
God's commandment of how you've sinned against God.
if there is some sort of deity who rewards people after they've died, then I'm going to do pretty well. I'm quite sure of that. However, the evidence for your deity, your God, there is none whatsoever.
Oh,
But there is none. No,
absolutely.
no, there is zero evidence. You would get global fame if you could prove God. Global fame. You would be the richest man on earth. You'd be looking down on Bill Gates and
Well-
saying, clean my toilet.
Well, today there's millions of Christians in this world. Some today lay down their lives, they'll be in prison, they'll be tortured, they'll be martyred for Jesus Christ. Now you can be martyred, right, for a wrong thing, absolutely. I mean, Muslims will go and blow themselves up, right, in the name of Allah. They've been promised virgins, right? So you can be sincere, you can be sincerely wrong, absolutely. The 12 disciples, one betrayed Jesus, the other 11, we know that at least 10 of them died martyrs' deaths, all on the confession that they'd seen Jesus on a cross, seen him dead and buried, and on the third day he rose again. Not one of them cracked and said, no, he's really dead. They were willing to lay down their lives on the witness and testimony that they've seen the risen Christ.
All I would ask is, while we're having this conversation, is that you start each sentence with, according to the storybook, or the storybook says, at the end of each sentence. That's all.
God's word is true.
You don't-
Jesus said, heaven and earth shall pass
it's
away,
a
but my word
sto-
shall never pass
It's
away.
a storybook.
Well, I'm just looking at the Bible unfolding now. All this, men's hearts will grow faint for fear of those things which are coming upon the earth. When Jesus spoke those words, the fastest things travelled by were horseback. Today we can see what's happening on the other side of the world in a moment in our television screens. Men's hearts growing fearful for the things that are coming upon the earth. Jesus told us all the things. Scripture is the Bible is a supernatural book.
This virus that's
telling
going
the
around
end from
is
the
a perfect
beginning.
example of evolution.
It's a perfect example of devolution,
It's
of things
perfect
decaying,
Yeah.
things
No, it's
corrupting,
not.
things falling
So you think,
apart.
well, did God create this virus then?
God created a good will, but
But
because
did God create the virus?
God created a good will, but when sin entered into the world, then sadly, ever since it's been
Well, did God,
devolution.
Has God got
Gene-
any control over this virus?
Gene,
Well, just answer me that. Has God got any control?